We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing, yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
Check out all
Yo.
starting with BVO Boxing TV, weekday morning starting at 6:30 a.m. Followed by Hardcore Boxing News, weekdays at 8. At 2 p.m. is Cast Sports, the box story, bringing you boxing and history. At 4 p.m. is On to Just Do Boxing, where you too can get your Just Do. At 8 p.m. is Back to BVO, and that's Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Friday nights, it's the Hangout, the Hardcore Hangout. Friday nights at 8 p.m. At 9.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of BVO Boxing. I got the homie prize fighter in the building.
Yeah.
Good morning. What you prize?
Ain't nothing, man. Crazy evening, but I'm here.
Yeah. So BVO want to have this debate. Who is the GOAT? LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
That's an easy conversation. Why does he want to do that?
It's not. I mean, it's not easy as a lot of people think it is.
LeBron James is definitely the GOAT. I don't even know why this is open for discussion.
That's the point that I'm making.
I don't even know why this is open for discussion right now. What are we talking about?
That's the point that I'm making. It's not as easy as you think it is.
Well, what are we talking about?
Why would you say LeBron James is the GOAT?
Well, he has 4 championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how many times he's been an all-star. He's the rookie of the year. He's third, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Free, I know you be on your stats. He's third all-time in assist. He's one in scoring of all time. He's a billionaire. He flexed his muscles in front of the world by bringing his son into the NBA. That's GOAT-ish. I mean, I could just go on and on. He's a big freak of an athlete. If he's coming down that lane, you're going to get trashed. He done made some historic blocks. He's also came, and this is off the top of my head, people. He's also came back from a 3-1, which has never happened before in the finals, and won MVP. I mean, I like Mike too. You know, Mike is that guy. He got his 6 chips and his things. But people only like to talk about Michael Jordan's career when it starts, when he win in finals. Nobody want to talk about how he was doing that dribble through the legs. Y'all remember y'all favorite Mike Jones when he was against the Celtics? He got swept. Swept. He's never beaten Larry Bird in the playoffs. Ever. Never.
That's all you have?
No, I could keep going on and on and on, but I want you to go ahead because I know you like Mike, and I like Mike too. And I come from the era of Mike, but I just believe it's time to pass the torch, and LeBron is the GOAT now.
Yeah, no, Michael Jordan definitely got swept. He definitely got swept. The problem is LeBron James got swept too. The difference between the two is LeBron James got swept in the finals. Michael Jordan never got swept in the finals. Michael Jordan is undefeated in the finals. Michael Jordan is six-time champion.
MVP.
6-time MVP in those championships. He's 11-time all-star. That man is this man is
defensive player of the year.
Defensive player of the year. This man is MVP.
Wasn't he top 5 in steals at one point too?
At one point he was. Now, see, this is the problem that I have with LeBron James.
All right, here we go.
He doesn't have that killer mentality. When the game is on the line, he doesn't. He's trying to do it now, but early on in his career, now his career is pretty much over now, but he's trying to do it now. But those earlier parts of his career,
he was passing.
He wasn't the guy that said, "Give me the ball." I need to have the ball.
Kobe would have snapped if he didn't have the ball.
Right. Michael's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody said, "Oh, well, Michael wasn't nothing until he got Scotty." Well, LeBron James ain't do nothing until he got Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade.
Celtics had this. They had to go against the Celtics with Garnett, Pearson, Ray Allen. That's savage.
The difference between the two is LeBron went somewhere else where there was a great player. Michael stayed where he was at, and he brought somebody in. And let's be honest, Scottie Pippen wasn't a great player when he got to Chicago. Nobody knew who Scottie was when he got to Chicago. It was Mike. But Mike needed somebody else to be able to hold it down when he
Scottie was a good college player, bro.
Yeah, when he gets a little winded. Mike needed somebody else to be able to hold it down when he gets a little winded. When they start triple teaming him, he needs to be able to pass it to somebody. LeBron is one of those guys. He's the new age GOAT because a lot of the young people know about LeBron. They're not old enough to watch Michael Jordan in real time. I was fortunate enough to see Michael Jordan and LeBron. So I know what Michael Jordan was when the chips got stacked against him.
And I caught the end of them Piston teams.
And then this is another thing too. Back when Mike first got into the league, these tic-tac fouls that they calling now, they wasn't calling that back.
They wouldn't fly. Nope.
They wasn't calling that. I mean,
the Pistons was tearing Michael Jordan up. He got cooked by the Pistons. He got cooked by the Celtics. And because, he tried to come down there doing that tongue out air Michael Jordan stuff. Man, them Pistons and them Celtics was tearing his behind up coming down there.
Now, like I said, LeBron James is a great player. There's no doubt about that. Now, if we had both these guys in their prime, and you said, I need one, which one are you taking?
LeBron.
I'm taking Mike because I know
LeBron makes your team better.
Mike makes your team better.
No, he don't. No, we don't. The way the rules was, D-Free, you couldn't play defense a certain way. So Mike was posting. Imagine LeBron had those rules that Mike had, and where LeBron can just bang, bang, turn and go. Everybody was standing at the top of the key. Watching Mike go to work.
Listen. Be quiet for a minute and listen. There's a lot of great players that never won a championship because of Mike. You can't say the same thing.
One of my favorite.
Hold up.
Yeah, I agree.
No, hold up. There's a lot of great players that never won a championship because of Mike. You got Clyde Drexler. You got
Karl Malone.
Patrick Ewing. You got Karl Malone.
Charles Barkley.
He won one with the Lakers, but he didn't win.
Who did?
I think Karl Malone won.
No, they got cooked by the Pistons.
That's even worse. But either way, Karl Malone, John Stockton, I said Clyde Drexler,
Barkley.
What's the guy? Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp and Peyton.
He got one once he got to the Lakers. The guy I'm about to say
they lost.
No, listen what I'm saying. The glove, he got one with the Lakers.
They lost.
The glove got one with the Lakers. I believe he got one with the Shaq when Shaq was there.
They lost.
Either way,
they had Shaq, Karl Malone, Gary Payton.
Okay, but listen what I'm saying.
They lost to the Pistons.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. You cannot say the same thing about LeBron because the great players in his era still are able to win championship. When Michael had those great players in his era, they wasn't winning championship. The only people that got a championship when Mike was on top was Akeem Olajuwon
and Drexler.
When he went to Houston, in those 2 years that Mike was out of the league, that's the only time that those superstars was able to get a ring. When he was on top, they never got a ring. It was Mike.
Well, LeBron spun the block in Cleveland and came back from 3-1.
It was GP was in Miami. I
know he didn't get one in LA.
I knew he had got one. I was like, hold on,
he got a belt. He got a belt, but he don't got it. He didn't get it from the Lakers. They got smoked that year by the Pistons.
That's the thing. When Mike was in his prime, those superstars wasn't getting no ring. It was Mike. And like I said, Mike didn't have to go to another team.
LeBron took Seldrunis, Elgauskas, and bums to
No,
the finals,
no,
bro.
Mike. Listen, what I'm saying.
Mike ain't take bums to the finals with him. He took Hall of
LeBron.
Famers with him.
No, see, Isaiah Thomas was before Mike's time. He was part of
He
that.
cooked Mike.
Let me finish, man. Dang.
Man, you've been talking about.
Isaiah Thomas was the guy that he was a part of that Magic Johnson era. He was before the Michael Jordan era. He played with the same time as Michael Jordan, so did Magic, but he was a part of that Magic Johnson era. He was before Mike. But Magic, I mean, even then, he only got what? I think he only got one ring. He only got
Isaiah
one.
got 3 chips. What are you talking about?
Who? Not with Mike. Not when he was when Mike was in the league. He got.
Yes, he was. He cooked Mike in the playoffs.
How many times did he play Mike in the playoffs?
He played Mike in the playoffs 6 times. He played him 6 times.
And Isaiah got 3 rings.
He played him. Hold on, let me say he played him. I take it back. He played him 3 times. He played him in '87 when they made it to the second round. Then he played him in '88.
Cooked him.
He swept him. No, I take that back. It was 3 times. It was '88, 89 when they won a championship, '90, and then they lost to Mike in '91.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first year they had Scotty.
And Isaiah was.
And then Isaiah tore his Achilles in '92, and then he retired after that.
Yeah, so. But before that, the Pistons, Isaiah got 3 rings.
Hold on, Pride. Let somebody finish. Zeke is only 6 months older than Mike, so he came out of Indiana early, and he wanted to fight with the big boys. When Mike stayed in college for 3 years, Zeke stayed in the league for 1, which was unheard of back then. But he had won a championship with Bobby Knight, so he was done. But go ahead.
Now, like I said, that's what I say. He was a part of that era before Mike. Now I'm gonna show you a picture. I don't know how well y'all can see this picture. Let me show you a picture when it comes to the accolades. I don't know how well you can see. What's up?
He supposed to be. Ain't he not supposed to be collecting firearms?
That was funny. But I don't care what neither one of y'all talking about.
Well, you don't watch basketball, so
you tripping. I've been watching basketball before you've been born.
I'll say this. I would agree to an extent that LeBron has done some amazing things, but just Jordan, from the fact that he was an icon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jordan really took what Dr. J did and brought it to a whole nother level.
Trendsetter. Yep.
So, I mean, and who didn't want to be like Mike? Even if you didn't play basketball, you want to be like Mike. You know, guys our age know the song by heart. He is me. I am him.
Like Mike.
I want to be like Mike.
I could be like, I want to be. Yeah.
Matter of fact, my bad. Stand down. Look at this picture here. I want to show y'all the difference between the two. Now, LeBron is a great player, but look at Mike's accolades and look at LeBron's accolades, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, it's no comparison. Who was the better player? Now, yeah, granted, LeBron, he's the all-time scoring leader and all that. Y'all got to remember.
Don't forget, LeBron is the all-time leader in clutch shots made. You know?
I look at the efficiency of your time played. Michael Jordan only played 14 years.
He played 15 years, and 2 of them he was old.
I mean, the 15 year I don't count. He played with the Wizards.
Why? No, you got to see that's what Jordan niggas do. I don't want to listen no more. You've been telling me to listen the whole time. I don't want to listen no more. I'm listening to nonsense.
You got to let people talk. You can't just keep talking. That's the problem that we have.
You've been talking the whole time.
Because every time I'm talking, you cut me off. I got to repeat what I'm saying.
Right.
I got to repeat what I'm saying. If you know how to be quiet sometimes, then people can get what they want to get.
Your ass know how to land a plane sometime. We be all right.
Hold on. Mike played 13 full seasons with the Bulls. And let's just be honest here. In his 13 seasons, he won Defensive Player of the Year. I think he was a 15-time All-Star. I want to say a 10-time All-NBA. And the thing that's so funny about Jordan, and I'm sure Free would agree with me on this, you know, people talk about him winning with Scotty, but nobody won by themselves. When you had Larry Bird. People forget how good Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish was. And don't get me on Dennis Johnson. I mean, Larry Bird, that '86 team that everybody talk about with LeBron, that was considered the greatest team of all time. Where they had Bill Walton coming. Remember that free? They had Bill Walton coming off the bench, I believe, on that one. So I don't know, but go ahead.
Nah,
Go ahead, Pride. You want to talk?
I don't want to go no more. Go
All
ahead.
right, cool. All right, but we moving on. But the thing I think the debate is kind of like tough to have, especially for me because LeBron grew up right down the road from me. But I think Michael Jordan had a lot going on. Michael Jordan was suspended for a year for gambling. He lost his father. He had a lot of stuff. The only thing I will say about that makes LeBron a running is because he didn't have 2 years off. MJ was off for 18 months. He came back, got beat to death by the Orlando Magic with Penny, Horace Grant, and Shaquille.
Shaq,
So it's
Nick
it's up
Anderson,
for
3D.
debate.
See, this is what I was talking about.
Ain't no debate.
I look at the efficiency of the time played. Michael Jordan played what? This is LeBron. What 20th year, 21st year, 22nd year. He played 8 years longer than Michael Jordan, and he still doesn't have the accolades that Mike had. 8 years longer. He played 8 years longer.
Accolades too, though, bro. It's accolades.
I didn't say he didn't have accolades. I said
accolades are vicious, dog.
I didn't. Dog, did you not see the picture, dog? Did you not see the picture? It's no comparison.
I seen that whack picture. That picture starts in 1991 when he started winning. They don't want to. That's what Jordan fans get me mad. They only want to start talking about when he won. They don't want to go back to them Pistons and them Celtics when they was getting.
Hold on 1 second, Pride. As the host, man, let the man speak. Go ahead.
No, it's I'm looking at the efficiency of time played. The man played 8 years longer than Michael Jordan, and he doesn't have the accolades that equals up to the same amount of Michael Jordan. I didn't say he didn't have no accolades. I've never said he had no. Everybody know that LeBron got accolades. Everybody know that. Everybody know that Kevin Durant got accolades. I'm saying they know that Kobe got accolades. It doesn't equal up to the amount of accolades that Mike has in less time played. Kobe played 20 years. LeBron is on his 22nd year, and they don't have the amount of accolades. Everybody said, "Oh, well, Mike didn't do anything until he got Scotty. LeBron didn't do anything until he got with Dwayne Wade. Kobe didn't do anything until he got Shaq." They all got somebody in order to get them over the hump. They all got somebody. The difference between LeBron and Mike is LeBron left a team. Mike stayed with the same team. He never left. The only time he left was when he retired the second time, and then he came back and he was a part owner of the Wizards, and he wanted to bring the ticket sales, so he joined the Wizards team to bring the ticket sales up. That's the only reason why he joined the Wizards. It was to bring the ticket sales up because he was part owner. It wasn't because he wanted to be on the Wizards. He wanted to bring the ticket sales up.
I think he said LeBron, salute to my brother Bentley. He said LeBron's longevity is cool. The Miami Heat teams was awesome, but Mike was an unaliver and LeBron is not clutch. Mike left a team. Well, I'll say this.
How's he not clutch when he's the most clutch all time?
I think the thing
people crazy.
The thing that people missing about Mike had the greatest general manager of all time, and Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause drafted Scottie Pippen from Arkansas, who wasn't very well known. He drafted a country kid that nobody knew named Horace Grant. I mean, just people forget about Tony Kukoc coming from Europe. He's one of the first big time cats to come from Europe. So he had the thing that Mike had was he had the greatest GM of all time. And I feel like, LeBron had Danny Ferries, just a bunch of no names, Kobe Altman, just a bunch of goofies as his GM. And I think he never really had a chance. His best GM was Pat Riley. And to be honest with you, LeBron was so far gone at that time that it made no difference. But I'll ask you guys this. So we kind of established that, Mike's the best. So I ask you this, who's better, Kobe or LeBron? How about that?
LeBron. Because he's the GOAT. So he's number one. So it ain't no who's better, the Michael. No, it's LeBron James. I don't understand what y'all talking about. He's not clutch. He's not. How is he not clutch when he's the most clutch all time? Make that make sense. Please.
You can be much
His
more.
longevity is because he's a great athlete and he keeps himself in shape and he don't drink and smoke cigars and gamble and do all that goofy stuff. And he's an active
Hold on, bro. LeBron is juicing, man. I don't want to hear no
man.
crap.
Get out of here.
LeBron is juicing,
Allegedly,
bro.
allegedly. Don't bring
He's
that smut
juicing,
on
man.
that man name
He's
on
juicing.
his channel. Don't
He's
do
juicing.
that. Don't do
Hey,
that.
free,
Allegedly, folks.
free. Am I wrong?
Kareem
Have you not heard?
Akbar, everybody, ladies and
Hold on 1
gentlemen,
second. Hold on 1 second.
Kareem
Hold on
Akbar
one
is just
second.
joking.
I want you to do your thing, but we gotta all be able to talk. I'm gonna ask you
Y'all
this,
been
free.
all right. You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing else because
Hey,
y'all.
free. Let me
Every
ask you
time I
this.
say
Hold
something, y'all
on, bro. Don't
lose.
do this on the show. But let me ask you this real quick, free. When you think about the NBA, would you say Mike changed the game more, or would you say LeBron?
Mike definitely changed the game more than LeBron did. He definitely changed the game.
Kind of expound on that. Kind of tell me why you think that.
Mike changed the game more because when Mike came into the game, it was almost like they were robots out there. They was real robotic. I mean, you had Isaiah Thomas who was flashy with the dribbling and stuff like that, but people wasn't doing the stuff that Mike was doing when he came down the hole, and it was just a lot different. Kids, kids want. There was more kids saying they want to be like Mike than any other basketball player in history. There was more kids saying they want to be like Mike. This man had commercials every time you turned it on. He was one of the biggest. He had one of the biggest shoe contracts ever in the history of sports. Period. He had one of the biggest shoe contracts. People still to this day fighting over Michael Jordan shoes. Who got the better shoes from Michael Jordan? And all these shoes are just retro shoes. They shoes that he done years ago, and they're just bringing them back out again. They still buying them. Like I wore the daggone that first Michael Jordan shoe that was ever made, which was for kids. It was called Sky Jordan. For adults, it was called Air Jordan, the red and black ones, the high top red and black joint. I had those joints when they first came out. So that was back when I was in first grade when they first came out. They still wearing them joints now. So it just Michael Jordan changed the game because people wasn't thinking about getting a shoe contract. It wasn't really no big shoe contract like that. The shoe contract that people was getting, it was like Converse and I don't even know no other shoe contract that nobody else got. I know that a couple of people had a Converse shoe contract, but I don't know about nobody else real big shoe contract until Mike started hitting the shoe contract. And now everybody want to get a shoe contract. That's one of the major things that a lot of these basketball players want to do is get a shoe contract. So
yeah, because you're right about that. Because Andre Agassi, what was the other guy? Dang, I just lost his name. But it was more of a tennis type of thing to have a shoe contract back there, especially in the 80s. But go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it just Michael Jordan definitely changed it. He said Michael Jordan can't warm LeBron boots. Like I said, speaking like a real young guy that don't know nothing about basketball. Speaking like a real young guy that don't know nothing about basketball. Like I said, Michael Jordan played less years than LeBron and has more accolades than LeBron. Now, yes, I give LeBron all the credit for the longevity. I don't discredit that at all. But when you have longer years, yeah, you can build your stats up more because you got more years played. I'm almost certain if Michael Jordan would have played 22 years, he would be the all-time point leader. He would be the all-time point leader. I don't recall LeBron ever averaging 32 points a game for a season. Michael Jordan did that multiple times. I don't even recall LeBron James averaging 28 points a game for a season.
He averaged 28 pretty much his whole career.
I said I don't recall. I ain't saying he didn't. I just said I don't recall. I ain't saying he didn't, but Michael Jordan did it multiple times. Now, LeBron did it once or twice. How many times have LeBron won the scoring title? We know Michael Jordan did it multiple times.
Well, Jordan did it 10 times, I believe.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We know Jordan did it multiple times. So if Jordan would have played, if he took care of his body and didn't retire as many times as he did and played a consistent career for straight through, he probably would have been the all-time scoring leader. We don't know. We don't know what could have happened. But I'm going by the efficiency of time played. So when you got somebody who played 22 years and he has this amount of accolades, and then you got somebody who played 14 years, 15 years, whatever you want to say, and he has these amount of accolades. I got to look at the time play. It's just like you making $20 an hour and you working 50 hours, making $1,000. You making $1,000. I work 4 hours and make $1,000. Which one you want? You want the 4 hours or you want the 50 hours making $1,000? I want the 4. So I'm looking at the efficiency of time played.
Yeah, I think people get LeBron a lot of headache for being 4 and 6, but people got to remember, Jerry West was 1-9 in the finals. So, and he actually won 2 Finals MVPs, and one of them was when he lost. You can't tell me when he lost to the Warriors the first time that Herculean effort that he put up didn't deserve MVP over Iguodala, which is crazy. But just to bring pride in, let me ask you a question, man. You know, being pretty much from Philadelphia, how does it feel to never have been to a finals appearance in more than 20 years? How does that feel?
What? What are you talking about?
No, I'm just actually being a Sixers fan. It's been over 20 years at this point that you
I thought
guys
we was
have
talking
been.
about Michael and LeBron. How we get
No,
up?
no,
How we?
I'm just asking you a question. I'm just asking you a
I
question as a
mean,
Philly fan.
it feels like crap, you know. You, especially as a season ticket holder, it's you get frustrated and and it is what it is. But we love our team and we're Philadelphia and we're gonna ride till we die because we real and that's what it is.
But I'll go back to you on this one because I think you pretty much agree with us. So I'll start off with Prize and I'll go to Free. Who's better? Would it be LeBron James, who's won 4 regular season MVPs, or Kobe Bryant, who won 1?
Say that again.
Who would you say is a better player, Kobe or LeBron?
I already told you, LeBron James is the #1 basketball player in the world ever. Like,
So
I
the
hear
fact
what
that
y'all
he's
saying
decent
about
don't
his
count.
6 and.
I'm asking you.
Can I finish like
I
y'all
know,
did
I
me?
know. Go ahead, go ahead,
Can
go
I
ahead.
finish?
My bad.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
even remember what I was about to say now. But LeBron, I hear y'all. He might go 6-0 and all that. It's cool. It's he got great accolades like D Free just showed you. But nevertheless, LeBron James' longevity just shows you he's just a better athlete. He don't need to take no 2 years off. And if Mike wouldn't have took no 2 years off, he wouldn't have the points that LeBron James has,
I
nor
would
the
say this.
assists.
I would say this, Bentley. Kobe's not
Or
on the
the
same
rebounds. The
planet.
man damn near averaged a triple double, bro. What are we talking
He's
about?
not. He's not in the same planet as Michael Jordan. Kobe's nowhere near Michael Jordan. He's a cheap fake, to be honest with you. He
What?
never was
That's
any.
blasphemy.
He was never as good as Mike. Never ever. Not
That's
once was he ever as
blasphemy.
good as Mike. Not ever. Not ever.
Well, I tend to think that he was at times.
Salute to my man DS3. Um, oh, style wise, absolutely. But I'll ask you this though, Free. When you look at this is gonna throw you guys for a loop. Who's a better? Who would you say is a better more influential basketball player, Iverson or Michael Jordan? Because there are still more number threes in the NBA than there are 23s. What would you guys say to that?
You said basketball influence.
Who influenced basketball more,
Oh,
Iverson or Jordan?
I still say it's Michael Jordan. Now, who was a more influence in basketball was Allen Iverson, because Allen Iverson brought hip hop to basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say Allen Iverson is a more influence in basketball, but who was a more influence for basketball is still Michael Jordan. Even Allen Iverson said he wanted to be like Mike when he came into the
Oh
league.
yeah, for sure.
So you can't have somebody who idolized one guy and say he was a better influence than him when he came into the league because of Mike. He was a football player. He wanted to play basketball because of Mike.
I'll go to my man Grumpy OG. So you being a Philadelphia fan, I will ask you a quick question. When you think about being a Philadelphia 76ers fan, to see you guys not have make it to the third round since 2001, how does that feel in your opinion, Grumpy OG?
It sucks. It sucks, man. And
Or-
I don't think when they're going to get out of that. being stuck in the semifinals, and last year they didn't even make it to the semifinals last year. Um,
Mhm.
so right now it's disgusting, man. You know, it's a big letdown because they didn't have pieces they put together and didn't work, and he's switching coaches and injuries and things like that. So it's disgusting, bro. And I'm a diehard Sixers fan, and it sucks.
So that being said, before we move on, I don't know if you guys heard this, but them moving to Camden, New Jersey has been scrapped. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for Philadelphia to not have their team go to Jersey?
It's good because once they home team to relocate to another state and city, you know, so that's a no brainer. But the problem is where they trying to get their own arena at, and right now they trying to build it right there in Chinatown, which is in Center City, and
Mhm.
the Asian community is not having it. In the city, some people is for it, and a lot of people is against it. I'm not for it, you know. Think they should find a better area to put it at. Chinatown is Chinatown. There's no need to go on messing up those people's money. And then to put an arena down there in the central part of the city is not. It's not smart. You know, Philadelphia is not as big as it used to be at one time. It was in the top 10 cities. I don't know where it's at now, but it's a bad move. So that's what we're looking at right now. See where they're going to have their own arena at, because you know right now they just pay rent out the Wells and Fargo.
So
Now
I
going to Camden is a good thing. Go ahead.
so I ask you this, Prize. You know, you being one of the guys, you know, your grandfather pretty much built most of downtown Philadelphia. When you think about Philadelphia as an overall sports town, would you say it's fallen off because you guys haven't bought a championship to the town in so many years, or you think it still got the same kind of spirit it had before? I think Prize went away. My bad. I
I
actually
had it on mute. I had it on mute. Say it again, BVO.
no, I was saying, you know, with your grandfather built most of Philadelphia, how do you feel? Do you feel like, you know, you guys haven't won a championship in so long?
Why you keep saying the same answer the question
No, no,
over
I'm
again?
asking you a question
What about the
because you
Super
guys
Bowl
haven't
we
won a
won?
championship since 2018. I'm
What
just
about the Super
wondering.
Bowl we won? The biggest event ever.
You're not
We won
listening.
one of those.
I said the 2018 you guys
When
won a
the last
championship.
time Cleveland won the Super Bowl?
We never won a Super Bowl. We won a
Yeah,
couple NFL
that's
championships.
crazy.
But
Crazy work.
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. When you talk about the overall sports fever, do you guys still feel like you got top three in team spirit when it comes to
Yeah.
Philadelphia?
We number one fans in the world. Ain't no fans better than Philadelphia. Because if you come and show up and show out every weekend on Sunday or every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on basketball, whenever basketball come on, or in college football, we root for Penn State, the Flyers. We on the ice, busting heads. We cracking home runs for the Phillies. You know, we riding. But if you come here and be a bum like Ben Simmons, then you see what happens. And he ain't
Yeah,
the
y'all
first
ruined
one
that
there that
boy.
happened to.
Y'all ruined that boy.
No, he ruined himself.
Salute
You
Because
to my
know what
man
Philadelphia
I'm
Ant
fans,
Man coming
they
through.
ruin him because they can't keep it real. And where me and Crush, where we at, the city keep it real. So you will get ran up out here, and that goes for coaches, players, general managers,
saying?
and owners can get it too
Yeah,
in Philadelphia. That's what makes us number one.
yeah,
And we don't need no championships and all that because we got a Super Bowl, and that's all that matter. You know what I mean? That's the real. That's the thing that all the cities, the real cities want that Super Bowl, and we got
Well,
one.
I'll say this. B3, you gotta remember your
yeah.
team is in Maryland. They don't play in DC. So they really the Maryland commanders. They're not the DC commander, they're the
Man,
Maryland
get out of
commanders.
here, BBL.
But going
Kareem
back to that.
Akbar people just be saying stuff. Kareem Akbar be tweaking, bro. I
back to
don't
that. I
know.
want to bring Ant Man on
No,
this.
you did not. It's
Ant Man, let me ask you this, man. You like me, you're a Knicks fan. How does it feel to have this much excitement around the Knicks, even though we haven't won since the 70s? What do you think?
I'm excited every year. No, honestly, like I'm excited every year. You can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't be a Knicks fan. You can't be a Mets fan. Any of these teams that haven't had sustained success without being a diehard fan, without being excited every year. Like you just can't, man. You just can't. Otherwise, you be out there smoking crack somewhere. Drinking moonshine. I'm telling you, because it'll bring you to your knees, man.
He
Hey,
said drinking moonshine.
salute
Yep.
to my guy, man. My guy, GP, Westside GP, Dunbar High School in the house, man. Salute to my man, Westside GP. But let me ask you this, Free. So this is a little bit off subject, but this is still in the sports arena. What does it feel like for the Washington Commanders to finally have a world class quarterback? What does that feel like?
I
The
mean,
Browns still looking for one.
it's a long time coming because I mean, if you look at just Terry McLaurin, he's been in the league 5 years, and in those 5 years, he had 13 different quarterbacks. They that's just in 5 years. Prior to him getting there, I think Washington went through more quarterbacks than any other team since Mark Ripken. That was the last good quarterback we had. Since Mark Ripken, Washington went through more quarterbacks than any other team in the sport. So it was a long time coming. We thought we had one with RG3, and it didn't work out for him. Um, Regardless of what a lot of people think, some people think that the coaches ruined him, and some people think it was just RG3 being big headed. But regardless of the fact, um, it was a long time coming because I truly believe that Jaden Daniels is the guy because all of this stuff happened for a reason. If we would have kept RG3 and he would have ended up being who we wanted him to be, a good quarterback, he still ain't on the level of a Jaden Daniels. We would have never got Jaden Daniels. He's not on the level of a Jaden Daniels. RG3 was a good quarterback in his own right when he was at his best. He was a good quarterback in his own right, but he's not on the level of a Jaden Daniels.
But it's not like RG3 just fell off though. I can understand if he played and he went through the rigors in the NFL and he just became trash. That man just couldn't stay healthy. And I
I
think
mean,
part of it might have been like his build because he was slight as hell. Like when you look at him.
yeah, it was due to his health, and it was the fact that he never wanted to be a pocket quarterback. They Mike Shanahan, after that injury that he suffered from Baltimore, they wanted him to be more of a pocket quarterback, and he didn't want to do that. He wanted to continue doing what he was doing. I mean, understandably, because that's all he knew how to do, but he didn't want to learn how to be a pocket quarterback, and so it kind of shortened his career by not being a pocket quarterback because all you are known for is your speed, and if nobody has to respect your speed, they just going to tee off on you.
Salute to my brother being in boxing. But that being said, you guys think about we got to go back to this debate. I didn't get Ant Man's thing or Crush's thing. Who's the GOAT to you, Ant Man? Would it be Michael Jeffrey Jordan or LeBron James, kid from Akron? I don't know if Ant is there, but what you think? What would you say, Crush? Who's your GOAT, man?
Run the question again, BBO.
No, I was saying who's your GOAT? Would it be Michael Jordan or would it be LeBron James, the kid from Akron?
Respectfully, get the both of them.
That's a Crush answer. That's for sure. That's a Crush answer.
If we get the both of them, you give me somebody else. But just having a little fun. Um, I mean, what I'm thinking in just one word: clutch. So you got to go with Michael Jordan. So I will go with Michael Jordan because in the clutch he is fearless, man. So I'll go with Michael Jordan.
Yeah. And I mean, technically, LeBron has more clutch moments. But let me ask you this: you guys think a lot of what we think about Michael Jordan is because he was marketed so well?
That's a large part of it. A large part of it is the marketing.
Yeah,
If you
I always
keeping
said
it a
that.
stack.
Yeah,
I mean,
I always said
he
that.
had Phil Knight. He had Phil Knight when Phil Knight was young, and Phil Knight is that's the head of Nike. If anybody don't know who Phil Knight is, he's the head of Nike. Well, he used to be at one time. He had Phil Knight directing his commercial career, and I feel like David Stern did everything he could to assist LeBron. I mean, assist Michael Jordan in that. So you think Jordan is all marketing, or was he really that guy? Go ahead.
No, I mean,
It's a combination
no.
of both.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead, D Free.
no, I was gonna say you can say all of those things, but nobody's knocking the shots down for Mike. He's knocking them down. You can't take away what he did. Like I said, people wants to bring other people in it. It's a team sport. You got to have other people on the team in order to accomplish the ultimate goal, which is winning finals. That's the ultimate goal. So if you don't have other people, it's just you playing against five. You're not gonna win that. So when you bring that stuff into it, everybody has the same thing. Everybody had the same thing. Some people are better at it than other people. Like I said, I just look at Mike because Mike was able to do it in a time frame where the fouls wasn't easily called. There was when they called a foul, it was really a foul. It wasn't, oh, a guy grabbed his jersey, that's a foul. No, that wasn't a foul back when Mike was playing. You literally had to smack a person or knock a person down for it to be a foul. So I look at the time frame, and I look at what the guys did in their time frame.
Well, let me ask you this because, excuse me, I'm putting some dishes away. I think let me ask you guys this. Maybe it's me, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, Price or Crush. You could tell me if I'm wrong, but I felt like you couldn't breathe on Michael Jordan when he was playing, or it's a whistle, because I remember as a kid watching MJ, you couldn't touch him, or it was a foul. There's the famous clip where the referee said, "If you say so, Michael, I'll take your word for it. If you think it wasn't like that when he was on top, and this when Michael was old." I really believe Mike kind of had his way in the NBA where they couldn't touch him. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh no, it definitely got to that point when Mike became the superstar. Yeah, it definitely got to that point, and that's with a lot of the superstars, a lot of them. And that clip that you were saying was there was a foul that was committed on Jordan, and they didn't call it, and so Jordan went over to the ref and complained about it. And he was like, "If you say it, I take your word for it." That's what a lot of people just look at the part where the referee said, "If you say it, I take your word for it."
But he
But
blew the whistle. That's why I said that.
no, he didn't blow the whistle on Mike because Mike was standing on the side. They was on the side by the sideline, but in front of the scoreboard. He blew a whistle on somebody else. He blew a whistle on somebody else for them to get the foul. Mike was talking about the play prior to that he got fouled, and that's why he said it. If you say so, Mike, I take your word for it. The foul wasn't on Mike. You got to look at because I remember the game because I remember when they played the clip back after the game was over, and when Mike was saying that it was a foul that happened to Mike that the ref didn't call. And Mike went over to the ref and was getting on the ref about it. And that's when the ref was like, "Well, if you say so, I take your word for it, Mike."
I really say this about Mike, and I love Mike. Anybody that know me know I love Michael Jordan. I remember my grandmother took me to the Michael Jordan restaurant. I was 10. I was hyped. We got to see Scottie Pippen at the Michael Jordan restaurant. It used to be right downtown. If anybody familiar with Chicago, it used to be called Jewtown. I don't know if you guys remember Jewtown. Jewtown's all built up and nice now, but back then it was called Jewtown. And Mike, I can't tell you how much I love Mike growing up. I had his shoes. I remember I had the Roy Jones Jr. hand wraps. Because I don't know if you guys remember, it used to be Roy Jones. It was Mike Bibby, Derek Jeter, um, Ray Allen. These are like the original Jordan. I don't know if you guys remember the original team Jordan. MJ was my guy. What you think about him, Crush and Ant? What y'all think?
Go ahead, and you got it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
there's a lot of marketing that went into Michael Jordan, man. A whole lot. But all these guys though, because the same thing was happening with LeBron. We seen this dude getting coverage in high school that we hadn't seen anybody else get. The man was on Sports Illustrated, had celebrities going to his games. The games were being broadcasted on ESPN. And I'll say this, that both of those guys actually not only lived up to, but they exceeded the hype. Because there are other guys that were christened as the next guy, and then like OJ Mayo, for example. I remember once upon a time OJ Mayo
I
was
used to like OJ
heavily
Mayo.
coveted. He's a damn good
OJ
player.
was
Yeah, he
nice,
was.
man.
Yeah, he was.
He was
Man. OJ
nice,
Mayo
but
used to hoop.
you could
Mayo
argue
was
that he didn't
nice.
live up to the hype. You know what I mean? The projections. Another one was What the hell is my guy's name?
Harold
Our
Miner.
guy from Camden,
Nah,
Dewan Wagner.
Dewan. Well, Dewan, he had ankle injuries. His son is filthy though, by the way. What's my
Yeah,
guy's
yeah,
name
yeah,
with
yeah.
Michigan State? I think it was Mateen Cleaves. Like Mateen Cleaves was supposed to be that guy
McKean
coming,
Cleave, yeah.
just never panned out. So
McKean
I got to give both of them
Cleave.
guys
Hey,
credit.
Aunt McQueen. Ishmael Muhammad.
Yeah,
Ishmael, stop
got a
it.
lot of guys,
God.
man, that just for whatever reason they just didn't pan out. I think that Mike and LeBron, they two of the few that had massive expectations and they managed to not only live up to them but just completely smash them.
You know
But
somebody who
Yeah.
really lived up to expectations, who people don't never give a lot of credit to? Kevin Garnett. When Kevin Garnett was drafted in 1995, they hadn't had anybody go pro since my man Dominique what's his name? Was it Chocolate or something? Dang, what's the man?
Charles
Was it
Dawkins?
Daryl Dawkins?
Dominique Dawkins.
You hadn't had somebody go pro. Hold on, somebody got some background on. You hadn't seen nobody go pro in so long, and I feel like if you ask me, I would say that Kevin Garnett lived up to expectation. What would you guys say about that?
yeah, he
I
did,
agree.
man. He did. I think that KG, thankfully, he managed to find himself, outside of Minnesota before spending more years there. For whatever
Yeah.
reason, they just haven't done a good job of building around their marquee big man. We've seen the same situation with Kevin Love. Once upon a time, remember Kevin Love was going crazy before he went to Cleveland. Kevin Love was having
Yeah.
games where he was legitimately
That
putting up
was
20 and 20 with ease. He was like one of
yeah.
the best
20
rebounders
and
in the
20, like
league.
12.
He was going crazy. Yo, he's one of my favorite outlet passes like ever. See a guy like
Yeah, that was
box
nice.
out, get the rebound, full pass the ball full length of the floor. Like dude was just phenomenal. But yeah, Kevin Garnett definitely he exceeded expectations for sure, for sure. But back to Mike. If you look at the movie Space Jam, that movie is one long commercial. It ain't even really a movie for real. It's advertising him coming back to the NBA, and it's also advertising the 11s that were just about to drop. Like none of that stuff is coincidental. That you see him in the movie stars, he's down there playing with the Birmingham Barons playing baseball, and they're trying to persuade him to come back. Then,
You didn't cry at
at
the end of
the
that
end of the
movie,
movie,
Ant?
see the
Me
close
and you
up
were
of
on
the
the same
shoe.
page.
You said what?
You didn't cry at the end of Space Jam?
No, hell no. Hell no. Yo, the last time I cried at a movie, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, was King Kong, bro.
King Kong, wow.
Yeah, King
Hey,
Kong, Peter
BVL,
Jackson movie.
do I hear some audio in the background playing? It sound like you running an ad. Is
No,
it
let me
just me?
see. Um, I
No, I
don't.
Maybe
don't
it's
hear
just me. I hear Big Dre running a drop right now.
nothing. He said Big Dre. Nah, but yo, yeah, a lot of it with Mike was the marketing. I mean, Gatorade, that campaign was crazy. The want to be like Mike and all that stuff. And back to the influential thing. If you're going to really look at who's influential, think about how many players have worn his number over the years, including LeBron himself, came in wearing 23.
Yeah. And also, Mike was the only NBA player to have Michael Jackson in his commercial.
Man, this fool done had Michael Jackson. He had Bugs Bunny. Uh, he had Spike Lee. Like if you was somebody, Mike had you. I mean, even Do the Right Thing. Remember the Forest came
Billy
out. That's
Crystal.
that's one of the biggest scenes in
Yeah.
the movie. Him getting his shoe
Yeah.
scuffed. They $100 with tax.
If I was you, I'd throw them craps out. But you know what's so funny? People forget that that's the only time you really hear Martin Lawrence's accent. He kind of lost that DC accent after that. I don't know if you guys remember it on I Do the Right Thing. That's the
Yeah.
last time you kind of heard that slim talk that you hear from everybody from DC. But smash the like button for us, man. Hold on one second. I would ask you guys this. So who is the best big man in the NBA right now to y'all?
Right now,
Right now,
Joker. Joker.
It's
In my
tough, man. I'm not mad at that. Yo, to be honest with you, man, I think we having somewhat of a resurgence because a couple of years ago it was just so guard dominant, but now we starting to see the big guys make a comeback in a major way.
return of the big.
We got Embiid in Philadelphia. He's fantastic. You got Jokic. He's fantastic. My guy out in Sacramento, Sabonis. He's good. He's really good.
I like
Karl Anthony Towns is pretty damn versatile. I mean, we got a guy who is 7'1", shooting 41% from three. Like that's unheard of. Like I remember being a kid, like the only big man that I would see shoot jump shots like that with any type of regularity might have been like Sam Perkins or somebody like that.
You don't remember Bill? You don't remember Bill Laimbeer hitting them threes in the finals?
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not saying he couldn't hit him, but I'm talking about just like to the point where it's an acceptable shot. I'm
Oh,
not talking
okay.
about an outlier because we've even had moments where we see Manu Bol hit threes,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
now it's different. Like, yo, remember when Brook Lopez first came in the league, he was just straight post game. They even expanded his
Yeah.
range out to the 3-point
I
line.
mean, you also got to remember this young guy right here, his second year in the league. He look like he's gonna be a monster.
He another one. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
he's another one. He's
And
another one.
it looked like
Crazy.
AD
Oh,
finally
we
worked
got a lot
up.
of audio behind you, so we can barely hear you.
Now it's my daughter blow drying her son hair.
Oh, okay.
It looked like AD finally woke up and he's starting to play good.
Yeah, I think AD is actually healthy for the first time in a long time. You can kind of see he's healthy now. But speaking of, let me ask you guys, what you guys think about JJ Redick cussing LeBron? What you guys think about that?
I like it. I like it.
Love it.
Personally, I like it. But yo, you spot on though, free, because like this year, this dude AD, he's averaging like 33 a game. And he's doing it hella efficient too. He's shooting like 55, 56% from the field. So
And he's rebounding too. He's averaging
And he
double
rebounding.
reboundings.
Yep. He's another one. It's like, yo, we got so many good big men. Because for a minute, it was looking scarce. Like the 2000s, I was not a fan of the big men we had in the 2000s. Like Michael Alola Candy, Kwame Brown, Eddie Curry. We had a whole bunch of them type dudes. Like they were okay.
I
But
like
the guys
Brad
that we
Miller.
got right now, man, it's like it's damn near like the 90s again. But these guys, they're shooting from range now. That's the only difference. But
Let
we're
me ask you,
seeing a
what
little
you
bit of a
guys think about
resurgence from the
Bill
big
Doherty
man.
from the Cavs? That's a guy nobody ever talks about. What you guys think about Bill Doherty back in the day?
Good player, man. Good player. Speaking of players from the Cavs, you know who I like from the Cavs, man? What's his name was my guy, Mark Price.
Oh
I
yeah,
like Mark
I knew
Price,
you
yo.
was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that,
I
man. Mark
liked him.
Price was
I'm a
nice.
guard guy, man. I'm a guard guy.
Yeah.
OG. I'm a guard guy. I love the guards. I even used to like guys like what's my man that used to play for the Philadelphia 76ers and he played for the Celtics. Dana Barris. I used to even like
Dana
him.
Barrels used to hoop.
Yo,
That
Dana
was
Barris was a
nice.
hooper.
Remember, he
did
dropped like damn near 70 points in the game. His first game in Philly, he dropped like 63 when he came. Man,
I
yeah,
like
Dana
me some
Bell.
I
Dana
used to
Nice.
Barris,
like the
man.
kid Brevin Knight. Yeah, he used to hoop in college.
He was a hooper too, man.
Brevin
Brevin
Knight.
Knight was nice too.
Yeah, Brevin Knight used to hoop in
Yeah,
college. I
yeah.
liked I like Dana Barrels too. He used to hoop. I used to like Steve Francis. He would bang on you. Because
Yeah,
Oh,
growing
Steve
up in
Francis
North
franchise
good.
brand?
Carolina, yeah, franchise. Growing up in North Carolina, but when I was young, we didn't have the Carolina Panthers. So all we had was ACC basketball. That was the most popular thing down there. So I got to see all of the guys, Stackhouse Wallace, um,
That's dope.
Rashid, Carter Jameson. I used to like the white boy Dante Calabria. He used to hoop. Jeff McInnes, man. Eddie Coda with the Coda floater. Man, we used to be, man, come on,
Yeah,
man. Tar Heels, I'm a diehard Tar Heel fan. Even we had Julius Peppers out there banging on people.
The freak.
yeah.
Julius Peppers out there banging on dudes, bro.
Speaking of Steve Francis, though, man, if I was what's his name, I'd still be looking for that dude. We had to square up every time I seen him. Troy Hudson. You remember what he did to Troy Hudson?
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
yo,
that was
that
bad.
I didn't like that, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I love me some Steve Francis, but he was doing way too damn much. You only got the guy.
You
You
know
got
what's
to
funny
beat off
about
the
that?
dribble. Just take the damn shot. He pulled it back out like it was Rucker Park or some shit. Like, yo, you really about to embarrass me on the stage like this?
No,
Crazy.
the funny thing about that, he did that in high school because he's from Tacoma Park. He did that in high school. He used to embarrass people on a regular in high school, dog. I knew he was going to be a monster in college, and I knew he was going to be a monster in the pros because he was, dog. This man was above everybody in high school. He was just a monster. But he used to do that, dog. When I see him dunk on somebody, I went to one of his high school games and I see him dunk on a dude that was like 6'9". Steve Francis ain't a tall dude. He like 5'10", 5'11". He's not a tall dude. And I seen him
No,
dunk
he's
on a dude.
6'3". He's 6'3".
No, he's not.
We'll look it up because I seen Steve. I seen
Dog,
Steve Francis. Elite picture. He's 6'3".
he's not. No, he's not.
Somebody Google it for me.
Nah,
Dog,
some of them NBA
dog,
heights be inaccurate though. Because
dog,
I'll
he
say
is
this: they
not
used to list Iverson at
6
6'1".
foot.
They
Yeah,
used to
6
list
foot,
him at
6'1".
6'1" when he first came in the league. And what's his name?
Allen Iverson, every bit a good 5'10". Me and Allen Iverson look eye to eye. Steve Francis is not that. Steve Francis is not that much taller than Allen Iverson.
He's 6'3". He's 6'3". They just said I just looked it up. He's 6'3".
No, you looking at a Google where they could just put their height in there. That ain't measuring them people.
When I seen him at the airport, bro, he's 6'3".
No, he's not 6'3". But anyway, the dude.
Yes, he is. But go ahead.
No, I know the dude personally. No, he's not. I know the dude personally. I can go to his mother house right now.
I'm telling you, I seen him, and the man is 6'3". I'm only 6'5". He was right there with me.
No, he's not 6'3".
But
anyway, but like I was saying,
Who you said was 6'3", BVO?
Steve Francis.
Franchise.
Yeah, no doubt.
No, he's not.
Definitely. He probably 6'2" at the smallest. But Franchise was a little long. He was lanky out there. I seen him at the AAU. He was lanky out, long and lanky out. I was
Anyway,
like, Franchise was big. Franchise was bigger than I thought when I seen him in. He was just about to go to be freshman in Maryland. I was like, yo, Francis. I was like, Francis is big, bro. He was in the gym hooping, bro.
Man.
Yeah,
anyway,
he is
like
for
I said,
sure.
I seen him in high school.
He's lanky, baby. In high school, I'm talking about when I seen him in college, though, Free.
I'm telling my story. I'm like I was saying, when I seen him dunk on the dude in high school, the dude was like 6'9". The dude towered over Steve Francis. This nigga Steve Francis just went over top of him like he wasn't even standing there and just dunked on him. I was like, the whole gym just went crazy. I was like, this dude is ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
You know a player that I wish could have played in modern times that I've only seen like on highlights? Bernard King, bro. He had a nasty game, bro. Man, that boy B King stepped in. It's water, man. I don't think he get enough credit, man, because he was old when he played with some other teams. But when he was with the Knicks, but hey, Bernard King was that guy, man. You know who else is another dude?
Yeah, he was.
Earl the Pearl. I don't know if you ever seen Earl the Pearl.
Man ago.
Earl the Pearl from remember he won the championship with the Knicks the second time. But when he's with the Bullets,
oh yeah.
I think he's from North Philadelphia too, ain't he?
Earl the Pearl Monroe. You talking about Earl the Pearl Monroe?
From Philadelphia, North Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Earl the Pearl's a hell of a guy too, man. I met him in Harlem, man. Such a nice guy.
Yeah, the Knicks put cuffs on him.
You know who else? Who else was a bad man too? Stephon Marbury. That was a bad man.
Yeah, I was about to say that D3 once they bought Stevie Francis. I was thinking like he was another one that was nasty.
That was a bad man. And Byron Davis was nice too with it before he got injured.
Oh, you can't forget Byron Davis. Looked like he related to the Russells.
Hey, he do, don't
they kind of figured it out. They always thought that. And Davis was nice too, man.
When he was with Charlotte, he was a monster.
He was a monster when he was with Golden State too, man. I still got nightmares about when he dunked on Andre Karolinko. That was one of the filthiest dunks I've seen on the baseline.
I'm talking about that Believe team.
Yeah, when he dunked on AK-47, man. That AK-47 was my guy. I like that. man. AK-47 was nice.
I still never seen nobody. I still haven't seen. I haven't seen nobody. I mean, there's probably some people in the league who can. I just never seen them do it in the game. I ain't never seen nobody with the hops that man Vince Carter had in a game. I mean, I know a lot of guys do some special dunks in the dunk contest, but this man Vince Carter was doing it in the game when he caught that reverse alley-oop dunk from when he was playing with the New Jersey Nets.
Oh yeah.
When he caught the joint and brought it from the one side to the other side and dunked. I was like, this man is playing NBA 2K on live TV.
My favorite dunk that he had in Jersey was when he dunked on Alonzo Mourning. Oh my Lord. It looked like
punched on him. Ooh, that was nasty.
Yo, it looked like they jumped at the same time, but Vince just kept going up.
Remember that 7-foot dude he dunked on in the Olympics, and he was like, man, I didn't even know I jumped over his head. He said, I thought he moved. He just went up. He said, I didn't know until everybody came and grabbed me. He said, I thought he moved. I was like,
I think the only person I might have seen probably get higher than Vince in a game, like dunking wise, is probably like Gerald Green. It might be Gerald Green.
MJ was like that?
Nah, MJ, you know the thing I liked about him most? Like with his dunks, his body control.
Yeah.
That dude is one of the best. Like it just maintaining control in the air.
Yeah, like MJ, he wasn't a real high jumper. His thing was, I don't know how he did it, but he was able to like glide in the air. It wasn't so much of him getting higher than you. He was able to stay in the air longer than you. Like you can jump with
46-inch top.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is, like, you can have somebody that jump the same time as MJ.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They will come down and he still be in the air. I'm like, though, how is he staying up so long?
Let me ask you guys this: who you think gonna be the next guy? Baby Jordan or my guy Shea Alexander? Who y'all think gonna be the next guy?
I can't see no real separation right now. That's the thing, man. I can't see any real separation right now, and that's not even a bad thing because
it's a lot of guys in the league right now. There's a lot of guys in the league that
Jordan can shoot that ball though, and that's my thing. He should be in New York.
Yeah, and same thing with John Morant. John Morant, as long as he can stay out of trouble.
But he can't stay healthy, man. He always hurt.
Because he's a small dude doing things that big dude's supposed to be doing. This dude, dog, if you standing somewhere around the court, dog, keep your head on a swivel because he's going to dunk on you. Keep your head on a swivel. This man, John Morant, he don't care who you are. I didn't see this man dunk on his own teammate. How you dunking on your own teammate? Y'all supposed to be on the same squad. This man jumping over everybody. But it's a lot of dudes in the league right now that it's a toss-up of who going to be the next guy. Because we seen when LeBron and Carmelo and Dwayne Wade and Kevin, they all was coming up. We like, oh, who's gonna take over? Who's gonna take over? And then LeBron was able to surpass all of them. But for a long time, it was a tight race. 1 year it'd be Dwayne, next year it'd be Carmelo, it'd be LeBron, it'd be Kevin Durant, and it was always a tight race. And then LeBron just surpassed all of them. So it's no telling. We just got to see who can sustain it and stay consistent the longest. Whoever can stay consistent the longest is the one that's going to surpass everybody else.
So let me ask you guys this: do you guys feel like Carmelo got robbed of being Rookie of the Year, or should have been a co-Rookie of the Year like they did with J. Kidd and Grant Hill?
100%. Kareem Akbar, you hit it right on the nose. And I'm a huge LeBron guy. It definitely should have been co-MVP because Carmelo took it. Didn't they go to the playoffs?
Yeah, they went to the playoffs.
Melo came in hooping.
For the first time in years, man. For the first time in years, because the Nuggets was sorry.
I think the reason why LeBron got it, and I could be wrong, but my theory is the reason why LeBron got it is because LeBron came straight from high school. Carmelo played in college. So even though I think Carmelo had a short career in college, but he did play at Syracuse. So he had some college experience before he went to the pro. LeBron went from playing with kids going straight to play with men. So I think that kind of played a part in it. And let's be honest, Cleveland Cavaliers was trash too, but LeBron actually put them on the map. Denver Nuggets made it to the playoffs, but the Cleveland Cavaliers was trash. Nobody was talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers since the days of Michael Jordan and them. That's the last time I heard anybody talk about Cleveland Cavaliers until LeBron got there. So I think it was because he came straight from high school and Carmelo came from college. I think that's what played a part in it.
I could see that, but I just thought that for me, Carmelo don't get enough credit for not only being a scorer, but a 3-level scorer when it wasn't popular. I mean, he could post. His mid-range was nasty. He had a 3. He had a good step-up 3. I just think that when you look at his offensive game, he had no holes. He was a horrible defender because he never tried. But speaking of that, do you think Carmelo would have did better with the Pistons or he did good with the Denver? Who do you think he would have did better with? The Pistons when they're supposed to draft him or Denver? What you guys think?
First of all, I don't even think he was a horrible defender. I think that's a little bit overstated. Like, he's not a horrible defender. Not a horrible defender. As for the question though, damn, it's kind of tough to say. It's kind of tough to say because I feel like going to Denver, things were wide open for him. I'm not sure if he gets the same green light in Detroit with that team that they had. That's for one. And then also with what's my guy's name? Well, now that I think about it, that might have been a good fit for him because he played that slow ass, grinded out type of style, and Melo does have a reputation for being a ball stopper. But I was gonna say like Larry Brown. He play a slow brand of basketball. His defense first, very slow. But I think they also would have helped him along as a defender. You can't help but get better defensively if you're around Ben Wallace and Tayshaun Prince and Chauncey Billups, all them guys.
I think another thing too. I think another thing too, when it goes back to that rookie of the year, you got to look at not only was LeBron scoring, but he was also padding up the other stats as far as assists and rebounding and his defense too. So like with Carmelo, he was scoring, but he wasn't getting the assists like LeBron was getting, and he didn't have the defense like LeBron had. I mean, he had decent defense back in those days. He had decent. I think his defense got worse as he got older. When he was younger, I think he played more defense then. When he was younger than he did when he got older. But I think that was another reason why LeBron won Rookie of the Year too, because LeBron was hitting it in every category. It wasn't just only scoring. He was hitting rebounds. He was getting steals. He was getting assists.
He was 25-5 though. I mean, it wasn't like extraordinary what he was doing.
No, it wasn't that. I'm just saying when he was 25-5, but Carmelo wasn't 25-5.
Well, it's only been like 4 or 5 people that's been 25-5. Meaning that was Oscar Robertson, Tyreek Evans, and Magic Johnson are the only guys other than LeBron that have a rookie year of 25 assists, 5 rebounds. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think he got it, because he came straight out of high school, and not only was he scoring, but he was hitting the other stats as well. That's why I think he
didn't do it from Philadelphia, and I was so pissed, man. Like when he fell off, because I thought he was
talking about Michael Carter Williams.
Michael Carter Williams,
16-5-5. He was 16-5-5.
Oh man, just seeing the way things panned out with him, that broke my heart, bro. Because I remember his rookie year, I was like, damn, he's going.
I got a question for y'all. I kind of know where y'all gonna go, but I want to hear y'all answer. Who's a better passer as far as assist wise? Mike, White Chocolate, or LeBron James?
I would say LeBron, because LeBron would pass like magic. He just could see you. And he was a willing passer too at that. White Chocolate just had some really good dribble moves, but he wasn't I wouldn't say he was like an elite passer. He was a very flashy passer for sure. Very selfish player.
I go back and forth. I lean towards white chocolate because the things he was doing with his assists, like this man had. When I see him had people just turning around trying to figure out where the ball went, I'm like, God, and like he the first person I seen actually made the glove look like he was lost. Like he had the glove lost. He didn't know where the ball went. I've never seen the glove look like that ever. Like the glove usually he had that name for a reason. He's locking stuff down. Gary Payton didn't know where the ball was. He's sitting there looking around like, where the ball go? I'm like, oh my God, this man got this man looking crazy out here. Mike, dog, White Chocolate was a monster with the ball. He was a monster.
You know somebody that nobody talk about who was a monster before a short time? And Prize, I know you remember him from the game. Michael Finley was a dog when he first got to the league. I don't know what happened to him. But remember, he was a lefty, 3-ball, mid-range. Him and Allen Houston both was like some of my favorite players to watch play back then.
No, I wasn't saying who was the better assist all time.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, I was reading what Kay said. He said LeBron's fourth in assists all time. I wasn't saying who's better in assists. I was talking about better passer, who was better at passing the ball. I wasn't talking about. I said we know LeBron is fourth all time. I'm talking about who was better at passing the ball. They said,
before we get out of here, I got to ask you guys a question.
Go ahead.
Who's the better point guard, Steph Curry or the Magic Man?
Or who?
Who's the better point guard, Steph Curry or the Magic Man? Magic Johnson. Who would you guys say?
I say Magic Johnson was the better point guard. Who was the better scorer is up for debate. But I think Magic Johnson was the better point guard.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just, you know what I say this though, Free. People don't realize if he wouldn't have got HIV, excuse me, I think there would be no way you could ever catch Magic Johnson in that system, man, because he was averaging like 10 and 91. When he played the Bulls, he was averaging 15 and like 11 assists. Like that was what he was known for. Magic was a monster.
I don't know. Mike Stockton's he's up there, dog. He's up there.
John Stockton is number one.
I said Mike Stockton. I meant to say John Stockton
by a clear margin too.
Yeah, he's up there, dog. I don't know.
He wasn't better than Zeke, in my opinion. I thought Zeke was better than John Stockton, just in my humble opinion.
Zeke had better.
I got them about the
handle.
Zeke I got them better. About the same.
Yeah, he had better handle.
What did you say? I didn't hear you. Say it one more time.
I said I got them about the same.
Yeah, Zeke had better handle. I don't know if he
could score that ball though too, Free.
Yeah, he could. Like
so could John, but the difference is like John just didn't shoot as much because you look at his career percentage. He shot over 50% from the floor. It's just a matter of volume. If he took more shots,
yeah, he was a prototypical point guard. He led his team down the court and he passed it to the open player. Like everybody else wanted to score and pass the ball, but they wanted to score. He didn't care about scoring. He was trying to get the assists. He wanted the assists. He thrived on getting assists. Everybody else was thriving on getting points. So that's the difference between him and everybody else. That's why he's the all-time assist leader. That's the reason why he's the all-time assist leader, because he didn't care about the points. He wanted the assists. He was like, I know I'm not the best scorer, so let me thrive on one thing. And he said, let me focus on one thing I do good. And that was getting the ball to the open player. And that's why he's where he's at right now.
I can't deny John Stockton because he used to cook cats, man. I just felt like John Stockton wasn't that type of player. I feel like he was a system guy who kind of, I guarantee if he would have scored more, I believe they would have won a championship in Utah if he would have scored more. And that's my humble opinion.
He was the system, though. He's the one who ran the system. Because you can't separate Jerry Sloan from him and vice versa. It's just like that sometimes, man. Like you can't separate the two.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying that I just feel like John Stockton, even when he was at Gonzaga, you look at his stats, he was just Mr. Consistent. Same thing with Mark Price. They was just so consistent. I think they just played in such a box that it really hurt their teams in the long run, because if Mark Price or if John Stockton would have scored more, I'm telling you, it would have been different. I see him cooking there.
No, because they made it to the finals. They just had to go against Michael. They just had
No,
to
but
go
you gotta
against
remember they lost, but they had lost a bunch of times. They had lost to the Houston team. They had lost a bunch of times in the Western Conference Finals too, is what I'm saying.
yeah,
So
but that Houston team was a squad. They had a squad. I mean, when you think about the Utah Jazz, you think about John Stockton and Karl Malone. That's it. You don't think about anybody else. You look at Houston, they had Olajuwon, they had Barkley, they had
no, this is before Barkley. This is before Barkley. They had Mad Max, Robert Ory, Sam Cassell. They
Sam
had some
Cassell.
dog.
They had Sam Cassell,
Kenny Smith, the Jet. But really,
Clyde
Vernon
Drexler.
Maxwell was a monster on that first championship team. People don't give him the credit, but he was probably the leader of that
Mario
team.
Ellie.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I like Vernon Maxwell. He was a hell of a defender. Him and another dude, man, Mookie Blaylock. Mookie Blaylock could play some damn defense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he was with that.
Yeah, I mean, they had a better team. It wasn't no knock on John Stockton, Karl Malone. It was just Houston had a better team. When you got a better team, you can have superstars on the other squad, but if your overall team is better, it usually prevails in the end. Because let's look at the Miami Heat when they had LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. They had a nice squad, but they went against a team, the Dallas Mavericks, who had a better team. They didn't have bigger stars. They had a better team. They played together better. So you can have superstars, but if you're going against another team that have just a better team, it usually prevails, because you need that bench play when those stars sit down. Who's going to continue the scoring? Who's going to continue with that scoring?
Let me ask you guys this: who had a better run, Kawhi Leonard with the 17 Raptors, or Dirk Nowitzki with the 2011 Dallas Mavericks? Who had a better run?
A better run?
A better run, like a better season. What was more impressive?
Oh
they
man,
beat the team with Kevin Durant.
that's difficult to say too. Which one was more impressive? I thought they both impressive. It's difficult to say which one is more impressive. Wow, that's a tough question.
They about equally. I would say that's like a draw, because both of them was oppressive runs to the championship. It all depends on what you like more. It all depends on what you like more, because both of them was impressive.
Right. And for me, it's this BVO. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it was impressive seeing Dirk come back from, because remember they had that one year where they won 60+ games, Dallas, and then they ended up losing to the 8th seed Warriors. So for them to bounce back from that and to win a chip, and then also my guy J Kidd got one on the way out. He's another dude, man. He just always made the right play. He's another dude where I feel like if he was just a tad bit more selfish, we'd be looking at him a little bit differently. Because remember when he first came in the league, he couldn't really shoot too crazy. But when he retired, he was
top 3 in threes.
Yeah, he was like second or third for a little minute. No, he was second when he retired. When he was second, he was right behind Reggie. Then Ray Allen passed him, and then Ray Allen eventually passed Reggie.
That was another thing too. If Reggie would have developed an inside game, like if he was just a little bit bigger and develop an inside game, I think we would be talking about Reggie Miller a little different too. Because Reggie Miller, he'll shoot the lights out. Reggie Miller, when he made those 9 points in 11 seconds, I think that was the most impressive. 11 seconds in my entire basketball watching career. Me watching basketball, I think that was the most impressive I've ever seen. That man made a three, got the steal on the inbound, made another three, and then got the steal again and make another. I was like, dog, this man just made 9 points in under 11 seconds. It was under 11 seconds. He made 9 points. I've never seen that ever happen ever again since then. Not before that and not since that.
What's the name he had 13. Well, that was in 30 seconds. He had 13 in 30 seconds. Yeah, McGrady versus Spurs.
Yeah, that man made 9 points in under 11 seconds.
But the Kawhi was impressive for this reason, though. Kawhi was impressive to me because he was dealing with the load management. I'm still mad at Zaza Pachulia of robbing us of prime Kawhi. Kawhi's still a fantastic player, even after the injuries. But he was on a roll, and he was absolutely cooking the Warriors that game. They were up like 20-something, and Zaza Pachulia had to channel his inner Bruce Bowen and be dirty and injure my guy, and he hasn't been the same since. He's still been efficient, but you know, what's the most he's played since then? 60 games in the season. He missed like 20 games a year at a minimum.
That was his most in years.
I think his defense suffered from that too, because we didn't hear Kawhi prior to that. Kawhi was always in the talk of the most the best defensive player in the league. He was in that conversation of who's the best defensive player in the league. Since that injury, Kawhi hasn't been in that conversation.
You don't remember him ripping Kevin Garnett, giving him 30 and then 32 and then sitting on the gurney after that? He was Kawhi.
I'm talking about since the injury. Since that injury, he hasn't been in that conversation as the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah, you're right about that. Consistently, he really hasn't had that. But I ask you guys this though. We're talking about basketball. What was y'all's favorite era? Was it early 2000s or late 90s?
My best era of basketball was the 90s. I like the 2000s because I was an Allen Iverson fan. I like the 2000s. I love LeBron. I love Kobe. I didn't like Kobe for a long time. Kobe grew on me. I didn't like him for a long time, but he grew on me, and I was a fan of Vince Carter. But the 90s was my best era because to me that was real basketball. Now it's almost like football. The 80s was the best era of football for me compared to now. Now is all about throwing the ball. Back in the 80s, it was running the ball. Like in the 90s, the big man played down low. We didn't have a lot of these big men wanting to be shooters. They didn't want to be shooters. They was playing down low. And that's what the big man was in the game for, getting rebounds and guarding the basket. Now everybody want to stay around the three-point line and be the best three-point shooter instead of playing your position. So the 90s was the best era for me.
So speaking of that, give me your top 3 teams in the East and your top 3 teams in the West for this year.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh, you got to put Boston number 1. I still got the Bucks up there. And then it's a toss-up between the Knicks, Philly. I would think because see the Philly, I don't know if Philly going to bounce back because I like James Harden with Joel Embiid. I don't know why they got rid of him. I like them together.
I did too, yeah.
But yeah, it's a toss-up between Knicks, Philly, Cleveland, and I still got to throw Miami in there. It's a toss-up between those teams who's going to get third. But I think Boston and the Bucks are going to be right there.
I just think my Cavs is too small. They just too small, man. Like Devin Haney told on me, too small.
Nah, they not too small, man. I think the thing with the Cavs, maybe in the backcourt with Mitchell and
Garland,
but aside from that, I think that y'all got some really good versatility from 3 through 5, man. Like Mobley, Allen. It's like
Mobley is an underrated power forward, dog. He's underrated like a
That dude
mug,
is a hell of a player.
dog.
And he could guard almost anybody too. He another one of them dudes like Kawhi, like my guy that we got, OG Anunoby. It's like you can have these dudes guard a guard, you can have them guard forwards. They could even play sometimes, depending on who they're matched up with at center.
Dog,
They can.
Dog, if you ain't paying attention to Mobley, he'll drop 30 on you. If you ain't paying attention to him, he'll drop 30 on you. That man is
My
underrated.
top three teams: Boston, Cleveland. I got Cleveland in my top three. And for my third, I want to go with my Knicks. I want to go with them. I don't know if I'm gonna put Milwaukee up there, but just because for whatever reason they just seem to be on the downslide since Doc Rivers got there. And I also feel like they're missing Drew Holiday too, because I love Dame Lillard, but I feel like Drew Holiday is what gave them the balance that they needed because of his defensive versatility. And I feel like the gap between Drew and Dame defensively is far larger than the gap between them offensively. Because Dame, even though he's a better scorer, he's one of them dudes where it's value. Like he's gonna shoot 43, 44% from the field, which is solid, is respectable, but he's gonna have to take upwards of 15 shots a game. His usage is high. Whereas Drew, he might only give you 15, anywhere between 15 and 17 points a game, but it's gonna be an efficient 15 to 17 a game. He's gonna be shooting in the high 40s, low 50s, but then still defensively is like ridiculous. Best defender in the league.
Yeah, I was about to say his defense is much better than Dame's. His defense is much better.
Well, y'all remember he gave Dame 40 points and locked Dame down when he was with the Pelicans.
Yeah, he did. Yo, that was a hell of a series too, man. When they played Portland and the Pelicans, yo, that was a very good series.
Me personally, I'm not a favor of Doc Rivers, dog. I do not like him as a head coach. It's like everywhere he went, that team has been they've been bad. They'll be good, and then all of a sudden it's like the whole bottom fall out. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'm like, Doc Rivers got one championship, and that was because he put 3 big time players together. They put
not just that, but I think that Doc Rivers, he might be the type of coach that is, when they call him like the CEO. He's somebody that can oversee the operation, but the other pieces in place have to be complementary. Because here's another important thing with him winning that championship in Boston.
Yeah.
He had Tom Thibodeau on that staff.
Yeah, he did.
Tom Thibodeau pretty much handled all of the defense.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And Sam Cassell. He don't have Sam Cassell anymore either.
Yeah. I think Doc Rivers might be a good GM. I just don't think he's a good head coach. I think he might be a good GM. He's just not I don't see him as a good head coach. And a lot of people give him praise because of the whole Boston and everything. But look at what he done since Boston. Dog, you can't tell me that those Clippers squads wasn't good. Dog, they had Kawhi, PG, and you had James Harden, and you couldn't do nothing.
He was the coach of the year in Orlando too before he went to Boston. So it's not. I don't think that Doc is a bad head coach. I just think that he's probably one of them guys that's more of like the CEO type. Like he gotta have his guys in place.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna oversee things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't think he's good. I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't think he's good. He's like mediocre to me. He's like a mediocre.
He's definitely not a what's name. He's definitely not a Pat Riley type of dude.
Yeah. No, he's not Pat Riley. He not my man Phil Jackson. He not none of those type of coach. He not even what's my guy from San Antonio? Been there for years. Yeah.
You know, it's funny y'all say that, but let me ask you guys something real quick before we get out of here. You guys realize that the triangle offense has been the most dominant offense for the last almost 30 years? Does that surprise you? Because they run the triangle in Golden State. They ran the triangle with the Bulls and Lakers. And it's like you probably can get a triangle offense about 10, 15 championships, man. Do you think the triangle offense is the greatest offense of all time?
It is if you have the right players. You got to have 3 good players. If you got 3 okay players, it's not going to work. It's going to be successful at times, but it's not going to go too far. You got to have 3 good players in order for the triangle offense to work. If you look at all of those situations that you just named, look at the Bulls. They had 3 good players. You look at the Lakers, they had 3 good players. You look at Golden State, they got 3 good players. So it got to have the players in order for it to be successful. It got to have the players. If it doesn't have the play, you can't put the triangle offense with the Wizards and it have the same success that it had with Golden State and the Lakers and the Bulls. It's not going to have the same success. They don't have the players for the sustained success long term. It might win a few games here and there, but it's not going to sustain the whole season.
I agree, but I would say even above having good players in terms of talent and skill, I think the main thing is having intelligent players, because that is a system that is predicated on making reads. Mm-hmm. It's like you make this pass. If you don't get the look, then you make the additional pass. Like that's all it's based on. Like if you look at the way that they used to run it when Mike was there, a lot of times he'd bring the ball up the floor and he would actually go away from the ball, set a down screen or do something like that to get somebody else in position. And the main thing is like, okay, we're going to try to get a look. And if we can't get it, then the ball eventually makes its way back to whoever the star player is. But hell yeah, it's a damn good offense, man.
I just the reason I say that it's just when I seen, when you watch this what's his name, the Golden State Warriors, I noticed they was running. I was like, wow, this offense, man. Shout out to Tex Winter, man. He really came up with something special, man. This offense. But hey, let me ask you guys this real quick before we get out of here. There's a rumor going around that Abdul Wahid was stripped of his WBA title. What do you guys think about that?
Cap.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't hear nothing about that.
Cap.
Yeah, that's the news. That's the news that he was stripped of his title. And you think if he was stripped, would that make boxing better? Or would it make it worse? What would you guys say?
I put it this way. If he's stripped, who's getting the title?
I don't know. That's just what I just seen on the newsroom, that he was stripped.
Because we know Williams Zepeda is number 1 in the sanctioning body. I mean, yeah, he's number 1 in that sanctioning body. Well, he's number 1 in all 4 sanctioning body. But who you giving the title to? Are you going to give it to Williams Zepeda? Or I'm like, okay, I'm like I said, I haven't seen this, so I'm just going by what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you strip him if he doesn't have a mandatory call? You only strip somebody if they have a mandatory and they not fighting the mandatory. He doesn't have a mandatory, so why would you strip him?
I don't know. That's just what the news was, that they stripped him. But
that's what I'm saying. You gotta look at, when you hear the story, you gotta say, okay, what would be the reason for it? Because he doesn't have a mandatory call, because Williams Zepeda is the number 1 contender. They haven't ordered that fight. So if Williams Zepeda is the number 1 contender, they haven't ordered that fight. Why would you strip him? He can fight any voluntary fight he wants to. He doesn't have a mandatory.
What you think on that, Ant, before we get out of here, dog?
I don't think it makes boxing any better or any worse. At least me, man, we got just way too many fights going on, and not even with the big names. Just in general, I've been having a ball watching Champions Night on the IBA on their channel, on their YouTube channel. They putting on cards out in Armenia, Austria, and Russia, and some damn good cards too. So
yeah, them brothers in Russia can bang, man. Have you ever seen those? I want to say they not, what are they? 118, 120 type dudes that they got in Russia. Them brothers be throwing.
they got to do that Bridger. That's nice, man. I like him a lot. He just won the title 2 weeks ago. He just won the
Yeah,
WBC title, if I'm not mistaken. Muslim.
yeah. They want him to fight. They wanted him to fight Deontay Wilder. I think Deontay Wilder declined, which is crazy. You think Deontay would get any love if he became a 2-time champion, 2-division champion?
People love Deontay Wilder already. People love him
Yeah.
already. I don't think that's ever going to change, man. He has captured the imagination of the public.
Yeah, he definitely has, man.
Nah, people love Deontay, man. People love
Yeah.
him.
I was sick. I was sick when I seen Deontay, man, lose. I mean, Free couldn't believe I was sick like that.
Man, let me tell you something. We cooked in my house and everything. We had salmon. We bought wine. We was like, "Ooh, Deontay fighting tonight." And then he took that mask off when he came through with that. I don't even know what type of outfit that was, but when he took his mask off and his face looked all sweaty, he was like, "Man, he don't look right."
Yeah.
And oh man, I
You
don't
talking
even
about
want
that
to relive.
second fight? Yeah, he got beat to death. It was tough, man.
It was, it
It
was.
was tough. Hey, but we heard that you got free on heard that you free now, man. So when we gonna see you start your show back, man?
I was live the other day.
Oh shit, I gotta make sure I got my notifications on, man.
Yeah, I was
But
over there with my guy T Hill. We were looking at Lamont Roach. I'm excited for that fight. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like after I looked at him under close inspection, I'm gonna go out on a limb and be a little bit hyperbolic with my speech and say that I think that Lamont Roach is one of the more skilled fighters between 130 and 140. I'm just talking about skill. I'm not talking about everything else like the speed and power and all this other stuff, but just in terms of his technique, his habits, his application, his IQ. Like he just does a lot of little things very well. It's a lot of stuff that like it don't really jump off the screen when you watching it in real time. But when you go and you take your time and watch it and you
mhm.
might comb through certain exchanges kind of like frame by frame and you seeing the way that he's positioning himself when he's throwing his right hand and the sense of the sense of anticipation that he fights with too. That's another thing I've been looking at a lot when it comes to fighters nowadays. I'm looking at their anticipation because that to me it shows that they understand boxing and they understand convention. Because we hear certain phrases get thrown around like, "Oh, well, this guy's an awkward fighter," and it's like, what makes him awkward? And
Yeah.
oftentimes it's like just being unconventional, like a guy throwing like for example, Navarrete. He's unconventional because he'll be at a range where he probably should be throwing a jab and he'll be throwing a damn uppercut. You like, yo, like, why would you even throw that from that range? Like things that are typically regarded as sins.
Yeah.
But
That's a good
looking at
point.
Lamont Roach, I'm like, yo, B3, I ain't gonna lie to you. Initially, I wasn't crazy about the fight. I'm like, oh, it's just another fight. I'm gonna watch it just because I'm gonna watch it. I'm a degenerate. I'm gonna just watch it anyway, just cause. But
Yeah,
after
that is true.
Lamont Roach, I was
We'll make that fight, that
yo,
trash fight, sound like it's good.
Lamont Roach is a hell of a technician. I gotta clip some stuff up and send it to you. But
Hey,
I was like,
salam
yo,
alaikum to my man, brother Clarence, man. Salute to you, man. I see my man Clarence the other day, man, selling some final calls, man. Salute to you, man. We love you, man. Stay safe out there. I know you out there selling those papers and incense, man. But salute to my man, brother Clarence, man. I can't think of which mosque he go to, but salute to him, man. We got love for my man Clarence. He said MJ definitely the GOAT if he wins a NASCAR chip. Hey, but on that note, you got anything for us, Puerto Rican Free? I think Free went to sleep. But give us up good and before we get out of here, man. Give us some words of wisdom before we
man,
get out of here.
you said some words of wisdom.
Yeah.
I've been on this damn C.S. Lewis book. I gotta send you that too, man, so you could check it out.
Yeah, I gotta check
It's a
that. You
it's a,
definitely gotta
it's a,
send me
it's a
that.
heck of a book. It's a heck of a book. Heck of a book. But he said something that really, really made me reflect the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna share it with you. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, wickedness, when you examine it, turns out to be the pursuit of some good in the wrong way.
That's deep.
Yo, it truly is, because when you really think about it, there's so many things that we've demonized and we've been conditioned, we've been programmed to demonize, like money, power, sex, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
these things are not inherently evil. Neither is the pursuit of these things, because if you got power, with power comes what?
Great responsibility.
But not just that, but possibility. You can make things
Mm.
happen when you got power. You can make things happen. And you can make good things happen for people. Same with money. So you can make things happen.
You know, it's funny you say that, man. I was watching just a little bit of that movie, The Book of Clarence. Um, you know, something I took from that. A lot of people probably wouldn't take this, but I think the opportunity to be great can be almost a drug in itself. Just the opportunity to be great or do something special can be like one of them things where you'll mess around and make some crazy decisions just for the opportunity to do so. You look at the stuff going on with Sean Combs and different celebrities, Theo Epstein. I think a lot of that is just guys pursuing power, want to do anything. Not so much getting that power, but the pursuit, just the pursuit of it can kind
Yeah.
of corrupt you, man. Like you're on your way up the ladder, you can really get corrupted by doing so well. What you think, man?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I once heard this. If you take a clean rag and you throw it in a bucket of oil, which do you think is gonna what do you think is gonna happen first? Do you think that the clean rag is gonna clean up the oil, or is the oil gonna dirty up the rag?
Hey,
And that's kind of like how it is.
you went to
But
the
I was
bottom of the ocean on that one, bro. I gotta
Yo, I
give
was
you.
reflecting on that the other day, man, because I was having a conversation with one of the homies, and I was saying the thing that I found most disappointing about this whole P. Diddy situation is
Hmm.
that it didn't have to be this way, right? Because some of the things, yeah, it's cool to laugh and joke and exchange memes
Hmm.
about the baby oil and all that stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're
Hmm.
an adult, hey, you doing adult things, that's your business. The
Right.
issue is the context in which these things take place. Like you said, you're dangling something in front of somebody, an opportunity that you know that they're desperate for, and you're
Mm.
willing to corrupt them or have them do some things that they normally wouldn't.
Yeah, that see,
That's where it gets dicey for
that's
me.
hard. That's
You
hard
can you
right
can
there.
keep those things separate though. You can keep them separate. It's like if you want to have fun and have your freak offs, and you have your freak offs, but you just keep that separate from this other thing over here, because these guys once upon a time, they were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and they were ready to leave their mark on the world, and they had these skills, they had these
Hmm.
great ideas. And like Puff, for example,
Hmm.
this dude, he was throwing parties since the days when he was over at Howard
Hmm.
University,
Yeah.
before he got his start at Uptown Records. So clearly this guy had organizational skills. He knew how to galvanize people. He knew how to mobilize people. He
Yeah.
clearly had an eye and an ear for talent. But
Yeah.
like you said, when you get corrupted, then you can abuse that. And I don't feel like the two, they don't necessarily have to go hand in hand. It's like you can do this and you can also do that, but you don't have to blur the lines. And that's where it gets a little dicey. It gets a
And
little
and
dicey.
and you know it's funny you say that, man. I was listening to something Uncle Lewis had put out, and he was saying when you see great men fall, don't laugh, learn. And one thing I'm learning in life is that you have to really check your house before you ever worry about what's going on somewhere else. Because if your house is out of order, if your life is out of order, everything done in the dark comes to light, man. And I just really believe it's very important to have your house together, because at any time, if you lose your life or you're not around, whatever you doing is gonna come to light. And I just feel like too many times, especially in this life, people don't understand that, yo, there is no secrets. Everything is up for everything's up there, man. But I ain't gonna go all day. You know, Ant-Man get me talking, man. We get to having these real conversations. But take us out of here, Free.
Man, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Everybody that participated in the chat, smash the like button on your way out. If you watch this on a playback, make sure you smash the like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow with more great content. It's the BBO Boxing Show.
Peace.
Peace.